Hmm. That's better. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tis I, Michael A. Grimm, aka the Multi Voice. I have many voices, but one opinion. And today, sorry that I couldn't find a Pizza Planet shirt, so I stick with my Guardians of the Galaxy shirt. And of course, one thing some of you probably have heard from me, I was planning to have my friend Dennis Sun to star in my video, but due with the technical difficulties and, of course, the signal through the Wi Fi, it was getting kind of glitchy and even slow. I don't know why this shit had to happen, but it did. That's a problem with technology. Every time when they're doing an update or something has to happen, it always know how to piss me off. And I'm freaking tired of this shit! But anyway, but he was nice enough to give me a list that he made since I haven't watched any of it. And right now, I'm going to be talking about a certain franchise that I know that I haven't been doing that review of it lately, but now it's time for me to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be reviewing none other than Toy Story. Now, back then in 1995, I remember when I was a little kid when they made a movie that involves toys. When kids are gone, they start coming to life and start moving around and talking. And of course, you have Tom Hanks as Woody the cowboy, and of course, Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear. And a little known fact, did you know that the first time they were trying to make the Toy Story movie, at first they decided to make Woody be a ventriloquist dummy instead of a pull string talking doll? And of course, first time they were testing it, I mean, first time they made the first draft of the script, when they were making the first draft of the script, they made Woody too much of an asshole. So they tried to tone it down a bit. And of course, for the Buzz Lightyear character, back then when they tried to make the character, they didn't decide to call him Buzz Lightyear. At first they wanted to make him into a sort of maybe like an 8-inch size doll, or maybe a 7 or maybe a 4-inch doll of a spaceman called Lunar Larry. And they were planning to have Billy Crystal doing the voice of Lunar Larry, but they changed the name of the space hero and they changed the cast from Billy Crystal to Tim Allen. And it was and of course, in 1995, it was during the time when Tim Allen had his home improvement career going and even started out as a stand up comic. And of course, his constant, which now in today's society, some people kind of find that a little annoying. And now, how the whole thing goes, you have Woody, who used to be Andy's favorite toy, until his birthday party. They decided to skip it to today instead of next week because they wanted to start the party before the move because they're planning to move to another house. And therefore, therefore, during the whole birthday party, he meets an awesome action figure space toy of Buzz Lightyear, a Star Command. Buzz Lightyear, a Star Command, come in, Star Command. Star Command, come in. Do you read me? Why don't they answer? Now, of course, to me, loving Guardians of the Galaxy, that's why I always like to dress up as Star Lord, because to me, I always thought Star Lord makes a pretty good Buzz Lightyear, huh? I mean, that's the only 12-inch space hero I have here, Star Lord. Hey, hey, come and get your love. Bow, bow, bow. Come and get your love. But besides that, one of these days I like to get that 12-inch action figure of Buzz Lightyear that is more accurate to the movie. And and of course, Woody being jealous over Buzz. I mean, him and Bo Peep have a little bit of a relationship going on, and of course, Potato Head being a jackass, and of course, Ham, a piggy bank, and of course, there was this evil kid who goes by the name of Sid Phillips. He always likes to torture toys just for his own amusement, and of course, there is the T Rex named Rex, who's trying to be scary, but sadly, he can't be scary. Even though he's a Tyrannosaurus Rex, he doesn't even know how to roar like a T Rex or how to be scary. Hmm. And of course, when Andy has that Buzz Lightyear action figure, he started changing his bedroom from cowboy style to spaceman style. And now he's getting so jealous that he decided to get rid of Buzz, but he didn't know he was going to get this far. He shoved Buzz Lightyear out the window, and of course using RC, and of course Potato Head saying that this was an accident. Humpty Dumpty was pushed by Woody. But Buzz, now here's one thing about Buzz. He thought, I mean, he was delusional. He thought that he is a spaceman and not a toy. I mean, he'd been saying these famous speeches like, I was locked up in a gamma closet at Sector 4. I protect the galaxy from a threat of invasion from the evil Emperor Zurg, sworn enemy to the Galactic Alliance. And of course, Woody figured out that he's delusional. He still thinks that he's the Buzz Lightyear. I mean, he was going like, "Hey guys, look! It's the real Buzz Lightyear!" You're mocking me, aren't you? No, 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 no. Buzz aliens! Where? Ah! And even, and of course, when Buzz Lightyear dealt with Woody, they start arguing at each other, going like, I'm lost, Andy is gone, they're gonna move out of the house and it's all your fault! My fault! If you didn't shove me out of that window in the first place. Yeah, well, if you didn't show up in your little cardboard box and took everything that was important to me. Oh, don't talk to me about importance. Because of you, the entire universe is in jeopardy. What? What are you talking about? Right now, at the end of the galaxy, Emperor Zurg has a deadly laser, a device that will neutralize the entire planet. I alone knows the weapon's only weakness. And you, my friend, are responsible for delaying my rendezvous with Star Command. You are a toy! You're not the real Buzz Lightyear, you're an action figure! You are a child's plaything! You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell. Until they found the truck that goes to Pizza Planet. Yeah, there's a place called Pizza Planet, where it's just a kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, but in a space theme. That would have been cool to have. I mean, that would be cool to have something like that, a Chuck E. Cheese like pizza space theme. Serve pizza while you feel like you're in a space station. But sadly, Sid Phillips, the kid who loves to torture toys, I mean, Woody tries his best to go back to Andy's room, but Potato Head, being judgmental, wouldn't even give him a time of day. So, and of course, Buzz finally realized that he's not a toy. He finally realized that he's not really a spaceman, he's actually a toy because he saw a commercial of the Buzz Lightyear action figure. So, and of course, he went a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when Woody was checking on him, saying, Buzz, are you okay? God! It's all gone. Oh, it's gone. Bye bye. Woo, see ya. What happened to you? One day you're the defender of the whole galaxy, and suddenly you find yourself sucking down our Argelians with Miss Mary Antoinette and her little sister. I think you have enough tea for today. Let's get you out of here, Buzz. Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. Snap out of it, Buzz! And of course, Buzz being so depressed because he realized he's not really a space ranger, he's just a toy. So now he's just so down and depressed about it. But Woody, he decided to talk to Buzz and telling him that being a toy is a lot better than trying to be a space ranger. Because there's a kid named Andy who likes him so much, and not because he's a space ranger, he's a toy. And he's like, oh, why would Andy want you? And Woody is like, look at you, man! You're a Buzz Lightyear! Anybody can give away their living parts just to be you. Got wings, you glow in the dark, you talk, your helmet does a whoosh thing, you're a cool toy. And of course, even Woody starts talking down about himself. I mean, how could a doll like him can compare against a Buzz Lightyear? Because all he does is pull the strings and he talk, and that's it. So now, Buzz decided to help Woody. But sadly, Sid strapped a firecracker, the big one, on Buzz Lightyear's back, and ready to have him explode. So now, Woody decided to save Buzz, and he meets these mutant toys that were living in Sid's house, the ones that he's been torturing, and they put themselves together with other parts. So, pretty much, I mean, Buzz thought they were cannibals, but actually they turned out they're just mutant toys who just fix themselves together. And while the moving van is about ready to take Andy and his family to a new home, now, Potato Head, I mean, Woody had the reason to get RC in order to get Buzz. And of course, egg on their face, Woody was telling the truth because there was Buzz with him. All because of Lenny, the wind-up binocular. So, had to launch a rocket, even though that thing can explode soon. So they finally got into Andy's vehicle. And then Buzz Lightyear and Woody decided to become best friends. Now, for those of you who ever played video games at the time, I remember that when Toy Story came out, both of the game systems, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, they had a Toy Story video game. And a lot of people used to play those games, and they do enjoyed them very much. But sadly, I mean, I had a Sega Genesis, but I didn't think about checking out the Toy Story game. But right now, I have this. And both of the Toy Story games, both Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, is in this controller. Now, I tried the games out. They're pretty fun, but I didn't go any further. Now let's get to the other movie, the one I also saw, Toy Story 2. Now, there's a lot going on Toy Story 2 behind the scenes. I mean, I remember the owner of a toy store called Al's Toy Barn, he found Woody. by accident, and he was trying to buy him, but the mother said it's not for sale, so he steals Woody because he was so desperate. Turns out that that Woody is a collectible, and he doesn't understand why until he meets a cowgirl who goes by the name of Jessie, played by the lovely Joan Cusack. And of course, there is also Bullseye the horse, and also Stinky Pete. And he still doesn't understand, but he was shocked to realize that they know his name. So they start showing him the merchandise that they had with Sheriff Woody, and even start showing a puppet series, a black and white puppet series called Woody's Roundup. And of course, they even had that theme song, Woody's Roundup, he's the very, very best. He's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the Wild, Wild West. Now, of course, Toy Story 2 made me want to get the Woody talking doll at the time. But sadly, I'm just more into space heroes and cowboys. So, lost interest of cowboys and more into the space hero stuff. Sorry, guys. I mean, that's why most of my reviews, I hardly review a Western. I mean, I'll probably review a few Westerns that I did enjoy, but I'm just not a big fan of the Western heroes. And then they went to Al's Toy Barn. Now, here's a little something that I discovered. Now, there was something that they were planning to make, and they even did a test screen that Buzz Lightyear meets a brand new and improved Buzz Lightyear action figure, was called the Ultra Buzz Lightyear 2000. And here's the clip from the screen test. And yeah, there's even a 12-inch action figure of the Ultra Buzz Lightyear 2000, except they call him Talking Techno Gear Buzz. Talking Techno Gear Buzz. And if you're planning on getting that action figure, well, let me tell you something. Those things are so damn expensive, so if you're trying to go online to get them, it will cost you an arm and a leg, pal. I looked it up myself. And I have to say, damn. So they scrapped the whole idea with the Ultra Buzz Lightyear 2000 and replaced it with the the utility belt Buzz. And I remember when Buzz Lightyear saw, I mean, it's kind of silly. I mean, it's supposed to be just a normal average Buzz Lightyear with a utility belt. And I remember Buzz Lightyear just staring at it and going like, am I really that fat? And then he looks at the belt and about ready to press it until that Buzz Lightyear grabbed his wrist, and it turns out he was deluded. He was going like, you're under arrest at code 60594. Station all Space Rangers are to be in hypersleep until we're gonna personalize unauthorized personnel. Oh, no. Yeah, breaking ranks, Ranger. Buzz Lightyear Star Command. I got an AWOL Space Ranger. Tell me I wasn't this deluded. No back talk. I got a laser, and I will use it. You mean a laser that is a light bulb? Have your mind been melted? You would have killed me, Space Ranger. Or should I say, traitor? I don't have time for this. Halt! I order you to halt! Now, of course, during the same time, Rex was playing a Buzz Lightyear video game, which he was really devoted to play the game, until he got vaporized by Zurg in the game, and Buzz was like, oh, you almost had him. I'm never gonna defeat Zurg! Sure, Rex. In fact, you're a better Buzz than I am. Well, look at my little arms. I can hit the fire button and jump at the same time. And you know, watching that movie makes me want to play a Buzz Lightyear video game, believe it or not. But, oh yeah, one more thing I also forgot to mention. One thing it did shock me the most, I mean, I was surprised to see Zurg, but in a video game. But during that time when Buzz Lightyear got out of that box where the utility belt Buzz trapped him in, he starts notice. I mean, those other toys mistake the utility belt Buzz as the real Buzz, and of course they ended into the Barbie area. And it was the first time I discovered that Toy Story decided to have the rights to use Barbie in their movie. But anyway, when Buzz finally got out of the Al's Toy Barn, there was a box that was stuck in the rotating door, and out comes an action figure of evil Emperor Zurg, and he spotted Buzz going running towards Al's apartment. So, of course, it turns out that this Zurg is also deluded too. So he just gets out of his box and saying, "Destroy Buzz Lightyear! Destroy Buzz Lightyear! Destroy Buzz Lightyear!" And one thing I can't get over is that when they finally got to Woody, Woody told them that turns out that Woody and the Roundup Gang, they are a complete set that's supposed to be in a museum in Tokyo, Japan. Now, of course, Woody is like, I can't go back to Japan. I had to get back home with Andy. But of course, sadly, Jesse just can't stand being in the storage because if Woody is gone, they're going to go back in the storage. So, Woody decided to stay with the gang. But of course, Buzz battling against that utility belt Buzz and proving that he's the real Buzz that they know, the conversation was like this: Woody, you're in danger here. We need to leave now. Buzz, I can't go. I can't abandon these guys. They need me to get in this museum. Without me, they go back in the storage. Maybe forever. You are a toy! I don't have a choice, Buzz. It's my only chance. To do what, Woody? Watch kids behind glass and never be loved again? Some life. Until he saw one scene in the series of Woody's Roundup. Of course, the Woody puppet was singing You Got a Friend in Me, and there was a kid who reminds him so much of Andy, and he starts hugging the puppet, and that's when he realized he made a mistake. So he told the Roundup Gang to come with him, but it turns out Stinky Pete screwed the screws in the elevation duct. Because it turns out, unlike Jesse, Bullseye, and Woody, and of course the other toys, Stinky Pete wasn't exactly the most favorite of the toys. Turns out that he was in the shelf for years because nobody didn't want a Stinky Pete doll. So one thing that Stinky Pete wanted, he wanted to go to Japan to that museum. So it was him who woke up Al when Woody was about ready to make his escape. So now it's up to, and of course, when they were going close to when they were getting to the elevator, Zurg showed up. And now there's a fight between Zurg and the utility belt Buzz. Now, there was a deleted scene that they were planning on doing. And here, it was one deleted scene that they were planning to use in the movie. Where Zurg was firing his ion blasters and he knocks out utility belt Buzz. But the original Buzz, he's like, I had enough of this. So he starts walking towards Zurg while Zurg's firing his ion blasters at him. And one thing that Buzz did, he removed the batteries out of his ion blaster so it stops working. And Zurg was going like, no! And then on the next scene, utility belt Buzz was impressed on the way Buzz handled that Zurg. So, as a gift, he decided to give him his utility belt. So now, Buzz has an upgrade. He has a utility belt. That was in the movie, which I thought they should have kept in the movie, but instead they had to do another scene where Zurg was telling Utility Belt Buzz, saying, "Join me, and we can rule the galaxy." And of course, here is the Star Wars reference way before Disney owned Star Wars, where Buzz Lightyear said, "You kill my father," and of course, Zurg says, "No, Buzz, I am your father." No! Had that joke have been gone old already? I mean, it was a big eye popper back in the 80s, but now in today's society, every time somebody says, "I am your father," it's getting so freaking old right now. Seriously. I am your father, Buzz. But I do love the Buzz Lightyear action figure look, and of course the look of Zurg. And one of these days, I'm hoping I might get one of those 12-inch figurines of Buzz Lightyear and Zurg. One of these days. Anyway, they were they were trying their best to try to save Woody, but Stinky Pete always keep getting in the way. So so Stinky Pete starts fighting against Buzz, and of course Woody says, "Hey, nobody does that to my friend!" And of course Stinky Pete got pissed off that he used his pickaxe and scratched his arm. But of course Woody's friends got the camera and started taking pictures at him, and then they picked up Stinky Pete, and of course Woody said, "Well, Stinky Pete, I think it's time for you to learn the true meaning of playtime." So they put her in a backpack belonged to a girl who turns out she's an artist because there's a Barbie doll standing next to her, and one half of her face is all painted. So he's gonna spend his entire life getting his face all painted everywhere. Well, that's what he get for being an ass. And of course, they become new toys to Andy, and of course, Jesse and Bullseye become part of a family. And of course, now Buzz Lightyear looks like he found somebody that he really likes, which was Jesse. So the thing that he did, I mean, he walks up to Jesse, going like, "Ma'am, I have to say you're a bright young woman with a beautiful yarn full of hair. I mean, a hair full of yarn. I think I better go." But of course, she didn't take that as an insult. She grabbed him and said, "Well, aren't you the sweetest space toy I ever met?" And of course, she did the same stunt that Buzz Lightyear did in the first movie. And when she opened up the door for the dog, Buzz's wings just popped up. Wow. And does anybody besides me get sick and tired of Andy Newman's song, "You got a friend in me, do 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 do, you got a friend in me"? I mean, it was good to hear it in the first and second movie, but now that song is getting really old. But anyway, when I noticed that Rex was playing the video game of the Buzz Lightyear game, I wanted to play the game that was similar to the one that Rex had played. And thank goodness I had a PlayStation at the time, and I get to play this Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. And I enjoyed the hell out of that game. And one thing I love more in that game that I start battling against Zurg in that game. And it's a pretty simple game. I mean, you play Buzz Lightyear, and all you gotta do is gone through all your adventures to save Woody. And you meet Jesse and the others, and they start giving you certain tasks you're supposed to do in order to give you an extra Pizza Planet token to help you go further. So, trust me, it is a really fun game for those of you who have a PlayStation 1. It's really fun. Now, another thing that I was really surprised of, they finally did a cartoon of Buzz Lightyear A Star Command. They started as a cartoon, and it's supposed to be a start for a certain pilot, and then they did the episodes. Now, the cartoon was voiced by Tim Allen, but when they released it as a cartoon series on Disney, it was voiced by Patrick Warburton, the one who does the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the cartoon series. And they even did a video game of Buzz Lightyear A Star Command here, but take my word for it, the game wasn't all that fun. It was kind of disappointing. I thought it would be a lot like the video game that Rex was playing, but no, it's not. So avoid the video game. So anyway, now let's get to the movie that, sadly, folks, I haven't seen it. But I was having my friend Dennis take over, talking about his thoughts and the stories. But, now I haven't seen the movie, but I made a list on what Dennis says about Toy Story 3. Turns out that Andy is like now 17, and he hasn't been playing with those toys lately, so he puts them in in the attic, and then they ended up in this daycare area called Sunnyside, owned by this teddy bear called Lotso Huggin' Bear, Lotso for short. And they also meet other characters. And now all these toys, they start getting owned by a little girl who's pretty much like the same age as young Andy, and her name is Bonnie. So now they become the lovable toy for Bonnie. And they meet new characters called Mr. Pricklepants, Trixie, the dinosaur. Oh, Pricklepants, he's a porcupine. And of course, there's Dolly, the doll, and Buttercup. And a little known fact, if you, and of course there is Ken and Barbie in this. Yeah, that's right. Ken and Barbie appeared on Toy Story way before they decided to make that Barbie movie. Although every time when I see Ken and Barbie in the Toy Story movies, I'm thinking, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah, that song is very catchy. And every time when I think of the Barbie movies or anything involving Barbie, I just think of that damn song. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Anyway, and if you look real close, you start to realize that there is a garbage man who is wearing the same shirt as Kid Phillips. So I guess he grew up and started working in the garbage. He becomes a garbage man. But anyway, and of course, Buzz Lightyear, they decided to reboot him, and now he starts speaking Spanish. And he's also delusional, so he's like a Hispanic Buzz Lightyear who's delusional, but also still loves Jessie. And of course, there's even a Toy Story tune, these shorts, and it was about Ken and Barbie having their own little luau Hawaiian vacation. But here's one thing I also did look up on Toy Story 3. There was another story that they were planning to do where Buzz Lightyear, he's getting a little malfunction and his hand popped off. And of course, the karate chop action kept malfunctioning, kept going at random, and accidentally scratched Andy in the cheek. So they were taken to take him to the manufacturer, but of course instead of having them fix, they try to have him replace. And there was another space hero that was supposed to be the villain in the third movie, who goes by the name of Dex Blastar. And of course he has like a robotic companion named Comet. And what they're supposed to do is they transform into a motorcycle. And of course, there was also Rosie. He's supposed to be a heating doll that's supposed to warm up kids during the night if they get cold, except it keeps combustion. And of course, there's even a black noir doll called Jade, but sadly, her malfunction. Every time she bends her knees, a shiv pops out of her knee. So Buzz trying to help them, trying to have them fixed by meeting the manufacturer, the CEO of the company, who would rather fix the dolls than have them replaced. And of course, Buzz Lightyear. I mean, it becomes a fight between Dex Blastar and Buzz Lightyear, but sadly, that was scrapped. And of course, I also heard about the Toy Story 3 video game, which I never tried it, but a lot of people say that the Toy Story 3 video game was much better than the movie. And it was available on PlayStation 3. And I had a PlayStation 3. Damn. I knew I should have get the PlayStation 3 video game of Toy Story 3. Son of a bitch. And then we move on to another one called Toy Story 4. Now, of course, this is what Dennis wrote for me. Turns out that 9 years ago, Bo Peep and Woody was trying to save RC from the storm, but all of a sudden, Woody lost Bo Peep and RC. And then they made a new character who goes by the name of Forky. He's actually a spork who is made to be more like a toy than a silverware. And of course, their villain is a Gabby Gabby, some kind of talking doll. And of course, there's this other one called Giggle McDimples. Giggy McDimples. And of course, there's even one voiced by Keanu Reeves called Duke Kaboom. And he's supposed to be like the Evil Knievel-like toy. And of course, there's even a Toy Story tune about the lamb life. Well, I guess it must have been talking about Bo Peep and the lambs. So that's been going on in Toy Story 4. Now, I'm kind of shortening this because of time. But also, one thing I couldn't believe is that Pixar decided to do another Buzz Lightyear movie. A computer animated Buzz Lightyear movie that we were supposed to be waiting for. And of course, having Chris Evans playing Buzz. And of course, he has this robotic cat, and also have a few friends, and he battles against Zurg until he discovers that Zurg is actually his future self. Now, I know some of you people are sort of against the idea that Zurg was Buzz Lightyear from the future, but like I said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I mean, hell, we always had stories about heroes becoming villains. Even there's also ridiculous ones, but there are some pretty good ones. I mean, Superman, he becomes evil when red kryptonite gets near him. And of course, Batman, who's being so smart, he always has a contingency plan. And of course, Doctor Who, when he meets his future self as Valiard, and he was evil. But anyway, they were trying, I mean, they made that Lightyear movie in order to force us to forget about Buzz Lightyear, A Star Command. What? Like, what the hell, man? Seriously? Make us forget about the Buzz Lightyear Star Command? Not a chance in hell! I love the cartoon, and I love the movie! So how dare you decide to make a movie and have it recast by Chris Evans? Up yours! But now let's get to the final one. Now I haven't seen this because it was in theaters and I can't afford to go to the theaters. But my friend Dennis. Now there's a character called Lily Pad, aka Lily, and of course Bonnie has a friend named Emily, and they met these other electronic characters called um, Smarty Pants, GPS, aka Ultra, and of course there's even Snappy and Blaze. And of course it's hinting that after Toy Story 5, Toy Story 6 is going to come soon. But I always been focusing more on the Buzz Lightyear character, and one thing I thought was really cool on Toy Story 5 is, of course, there's a new Toy Story doll, unlike the Buzz Lightyear, the Ultra Buzz Lightyear 2000, which turned out to be Buzz Lightyear with a utility belt. Now there's this new Buzz Lightyear called the High Tech Buzz Lightyear. And now that movie got popular, now they're making the toys of the High Tech Buzz Lightyear, where it has a built in Wi Fi and it also has like a drone propeller so he can fly around. Which I gotta say, that's pretty neat. But one thing, it's a big egg on the face. You know about Asylum Pictures that makes all these movie ripoffs? Well, there's a new Toy Story movie called New Toy Story. But the problem with that movie, it's, I mean, this, I mean, the guy who does um, Asylum Pictures, he said that he'll never use AI, just only crappy CGI animated movies. But from the looks of this new Toy Story, it's all AI. And it's a story about a kid who gets a new doll, and it's a cyber robot girl. And of course, she's having beef with a soldier, and somehow they lost their toy princess. So now they put aside their difference in order to save that princess, and that was it. And of course, they said Tom Arnold's in the movie, but anyway, this is my review for the day. For those of you who likes my Toy Story review, and special thanks to Dennis Sun who gave me a list and all that, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe. And as for me, back up to infinity and beyond.